What is up, guys? Blue Sun JRPGs here, back with another video. This time, running down a quick list of the things that can really piss me off or ruin games in general, ruin JRPGs. So many times we see JRPGs with potential that just get ruined by one or two bad features. One of the first things, and probably the most common thing that I see JRPGs screw up on, bad JRPGs screw up on, is have uninteresting characters. Look at our favorite games, whether it be Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Cross, Persona 5, Lunar, you name it. Go down the list of the great JRPGs. All of these games have characters that we are invested in, characters that we want to see achieve their means or achieve their goals by any means possible. Even games like this, you guys know, we go out to other mediums, whether it be anime, whether it be just YouTube, to find more information, any information we can on these characters. And the games that really fundamentally fail to establish characters that we enjoy, or more specifically, have some kind of attachment to. You guys know these games are 100 hours. Some of them even go up to 200 hours, and I personally can't spend more than 5 or 6 trying to get involved into a game that doesn't capture me in some way. If the characters don't appeal to me, I'm just going to get bored quickly, and I'm not going to want to play the game. It's that simple. The second thing, and maybe even the biggest thing for me that can really ruin a JRPG with good potential, is bad voice acting. For me, I say this multiple times, I definitely prefer having an English dub. I want to hear English speakers. I'm a native English speaker. But I will take any single day of the week English subtitles over bad English dub. It can ruin a game. RPGs in general, are really all about immersion. So there's nothing that can take you out of a game world faster than bad voice acting. How many times have we seen PlayStation 1 games, hell, even Xbox 360, PS3 games, with low budgets that the voice acting is completely off? Guy is supposed to be surprised or scared, and he just sounds completely monotone. It was really a problem earlier in the day of video games, but it's gotten a little bit better. But still, that can really kill the mood and atmosphere of a game, and that's just something that's not needed, because you could easily port these games for cheaper with the Japanese dub and just give us English subtitles, and I think we'd all be happy with that. Most of the people who play JRPGs are used to anime, who fucking uses English subtitles anyway. So I don't know. That's a simple fix that a lot of JRPGs could easily get right, but just for some reason screw up. The third thing that can really ruin JRPGs for me, and really the reason I came up with this list, is annoying, complicated quests that are not well designed. This was more of a problem on the PS1 for me, and actually had a little bit of a revival on the PS3 as well. Looking at you, Hyperdimension. Just quests that are pretty freaking complicated. And not even complicated as in challenging, just complicated as you can't fucking figure out what you're supposed to do. You want to go find some flower in some random ass freaking jungle, and there's really no point to these quests. They don't add anything to the story, and really the only reason they're even in these games is to lengthen the time of a game. A company wants to say, XYZ game is 75 hours of gameplay versus 40 hours. But for most of us, me especially, I don't know about you guys, but me especially, I would take a 40-hour game that is concise, gets to the point, has great story, every single thing about the game, adds something, and it feels like it improves the story of the game, leads to something. I'll take that over a 75-hour game that's just boring, has a lot of random quests in there that I don't care about. That's just me. I think most of you guys will agree with that, though. The fourth thing that JRPGs really seem to screw up on is bad combat. There are so many great examples of turn-based combat done brilliantly. Final Fantasy VII was amazing. Persona 5 was amazing. You guys know this. But then we see, for all these games, we see games out there that just, I don't know what they do. I mean, the attacks seem so generic, so boring. The opponents are terrible. And, it just makes combat a fucking drag to get through. And I can't do it. I really can't. That's one of the things that just just bothers me to no end. You know, I'm gonna throw random encounters in this too. I hate random encounters. I still, to this day, despise the Pokemon grass. I have nightmares about walking through the grass. Awful, awful. You know, I didn't even mean to this part to go off on this. But the grass was awful. You know, I want to be able to see my opponent so I can avoid them, or be able to actually fight them. You know, I want to be able to choose who I fight. I mean, like, imagine walking through a forest and you get attacked by an enemy you can't see. I mean, I suppose he could sneak up on you. Granted, I suppose that. But 99% of the time, you're going to see them before they attack you. So, why can't they put that in the game? I love that game. Starting to do that now. Another feature I do hate as far as combat goes, this really went off in a direction I did not see this going, but not having the ability to run. Why can't I run away from a battle in a game? I mean, you know, let me run away, and if you want to attack me in the back, fine, go ahead, that's fine, but at least give me the option to run, and then, you know, if I get attacked, it's whatever. But that can definitely ruin a JRPG for me. Just the combat, it can be so boring and so tedious, and the last thing I want in a game is to feel like I'm doing homework. A lot of people do love grinding, and I'm not really opposed to it if it's done well. But combat, that's just boring. Hyperdimension Neptunia, that killed me on that game. That's the best example I have of it. Whereas a game, I loved the story so much, and I wanted to be into the game. It was the game I was most anticipating of all time, really. And the combat just let me down so bad. I gave up on the game after like 15 hours. Another thing that really bothers me, I guess this is the fifth genre of thing that really bothers me in JRPGs, is save points that are spread out. First off, I should be able to save a game anywhere I want, even mid-battle. What the hell advantage is it to save mid-battle? Honestly, I guess if you want to cheat, you can go back and just keep playing from that point on and on. But, I mean, why does a game developer care if I cheat myself? It's not a multiplayer game. But more specifically, I mean, if they want to limit saving in dungeons, like Persona 5, I know you can only save in the safe rooms. That's fine while you're in the actual dungeon. But when I'm out in the real world, I should be able to save the game anywhere I want. This was much more of a problem back in the day. Final Fantasy VII had a problem with this. That was one of the things that bothered me about the game. Because, you know, sometimes you only have an hour to play, or an hour and 15 minutes, or whatever it is. You know, I need to be able to accomplish one goal and save quickly and get out and do whatever I have to do. But if I had to spend 30 minutes backtracking or 30 minutes looking for the next save point, you know, it really pisses me off. I mean, there's been a couple times in games where I'm trying to get into the game, you know, I'm playing a little bit, like 2 or 3 hours in, and I can't find the save point, and I'm just like, whatever, screw it, I'm just turning the game off, and then I stop playing right there. So bad save points can definitely be something that can hurt a JRPG, in my opinion. The last thing I'm going to touch on in this list, you know, I could go on for days. I'll probably do another list at some point. But it's bad graphics. You know, so many of these new games today that come out from lower budget developers, they try to be something that they're not. They want to have these beautiful, beautiful graphics. They want to have like a Final Fantasy 15 type world. Final Fantasy 15 gets a lot of hype, a lot of hate, I should say. You know, I see so many people hate Final Fantasy 15, but the graphics in that game are amazing. You know, and there's so many people that want to do that same thing, and it's not possible on the budget that they have. So game companies really need to take lessons from a game like Undertale or other games like that. They go for more simplistic looks, and they're able to maximize that. You know, it's better to maximize a simplistic look than fail at a over-the-top, beautiful-looking game. That's my opinion. There's always going to be a place for games like Nier, Persona 5, Final Fantasy, games like that have these massive budgets that can go out and push the limits of the consoles. But in JRPGs, you don't really need cutting-edge graphics. Not for me, anyway. You can go out there and have a little bit lower-end graphics and be an awesome game. You know, I'd rather see them go to the pixelated style. A lot of games are doing that now, and they have great success with that. But it seems to be coming from the mid-tier developers that they try to push these beautiful graphics on us, and they just don't. They don't have the money to be able to do it well. So I'd rather see them take a more simplistic view. But guys, let me know what you guys think are some of the worst things in JRPGs. You know, JRPGs have so many good points, and when they try to go out there and they try to take some of the things that make other genres good and try to implement them into their games. I mean, it just doesn't work sometimes. But let me know what you guys think are some of the most frustrating things in gaming, in JRPGs for you guys. But massive thanks for watching, guys. If you did make it all the way to 10 minutes, I really appreciate it if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more JRPG content. Alright guys, peace out, Blue Suns.